Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jen. This is Views from My Backyard. Today I have 5 frugality tips or ideas to help you either build wealth or begin to get yourself on the way to improving your finances. Oh, hi Barlow. One of my first tips is to batch cook meals from scratch. And you would go and you plan out what meals you want to do. I have a crock pot short up where I had bought a 3-pound beef roast. It was not overly cheap. You could use a cheaper option such as chicken or something like that. I made a beef stew, which pretty much had the beef roast. It had some carrots. It had some potatoes and some diced tomatoes. I threw that in the crock pot and I was able to make 10 meals out of that. So for the cost of say $45-ish or so, I made around 10 meals. So that's like $4.50 a meal, maybe $5 a meal at most. You could use a cheaper meat option or you could even do meatless. You can do other things. The other day I made a batch of lentils, rice, and quinoa, threw them all in the pot together and threw in a bunch of water, and I've got them in a large container, and I've been reheating that for my dinners and just adding other stuff that I have, like curry spices, or sometimes I use banana peppers and I'll just mix it in. When I nuke up the portion that I want for dinner, I'll just throw something in it to give it a little more flavor and make it not be the same exact thing. Batch cooking meals. That is frugality tip number 1. Frugality tip number 2 is cancel subscriptions. What do you have subscribed to that you don't necessarily need or you have too much of? Do you have Netflix, Hulu? I'm not sure of the other ones, Disney Plus maybe. For me, I had a Sirius XM, I've got Pandora, I've got Audible. I use Audible every day. Sirius XM I used to use, but I've got the Audible, and that cost me almost $15 a month. So I got rid of my Sirius XM subscription, and I'm considering getting rid of the Pandora one too, because I don't listen to Pandora all that much. I guess at this point, I've got to figure out whether it's worth it to pay $6 a month to not have commercials, but I'm paying $6 a month for something that I don't really use all that much. So I'm thinking I'm going to be canceling that subscription. That is frugality tip number 2, cancel subscriptions. Frugality tip number 3 is learn to do it yourself. If you guys have watched me on this channel, you know that I'm all about doing it yourself. My chimney was bent over the winter from the snow falling off the roof. My boyfriend and I ended up installing a new chimney, and that's going. And before winter, I had gone in and cleaned up all of the stuff in the eaves that needed to come out, like the chimney pipe, and refixed the vent pipe. And that is all done. I did that all myself. All it cost me was the materials. It cost me to buy the new chimney pipe. It cost me to buy the PVC glue and a few attachments for that. And that was it. Other than that, it was my time. I've Googled how to do the PVC glue. I Googled how to set up the stovepipe correctly. And with a little bit of help, all it cost me was the materials. I also do my own oil changes. I've changed my own brakes. I had to change rotors on my truck, and that would have been $500 at the dealer that's in the town that I work at. I don't necessarily have to go to the dealer, but it cost me only $200 to change the rotors in my brakes, and that was just the parts. That is frugality tip number 3, do it yourself. Frugality tip number 4 is buying the best versus buying good or okay. So this would be, if you're going to buy the best of the best TV and it's going to cost you 2 or 3 times more than just a regular TV of the same size, is it really worth it to pay more for the TV with all the bells and whistles, whereas you could just get a regular TV that you can still see the same stuff for a lesser price? That's what that frugality tip is about. The point is to not buy a low quality product, but to understand that you need to make a choice between buying the top of the top or buying something that is still good and very good quality, but not all the bells and whistles that are just things that you might not even need. That is tip number 4. Frugality tip number 5. Slowly and steadily chip away and build habits. Keep these habits going. Once you do one habit, add another habit on. Start planning your meals and going to the store and buying only what you need to batch cook those meals. Start there, then work on the next thing. Next week, cancel a subscription. The week after that, cancel another subscription. Slowly and steady. You've just got to work at it slowly and steady and build these habits to look at what you've got going on and what you can cut back at. You deserve freedom and you deserve wealth. So take pride in living efficiently. Thank you guys. That was today's 5 frugality tips. Have a nice day. I'll see you next time.